Okay, the first firing process is what changes your clay from bone dry to bisque. We call it bisqueware. Bisque. So the difference, you can see that the clay has changed color now. And it's also changed because molecularly, those molecules have bonded together. The kiln, where we fire it, takes all the moisture and it evaporates it out, and then it fuses together those molecules. So there has been a chemical change that has taken place. So where this is very dry and ashy, kind of has that sort of sound to it, your bisqueware is a lot more like stone, okay? And I'm sure you can hear that. And it's changed in color. So bisqueware is still porous, which means it can absorb moisture, but it's not as porous as bone dry. Bone dry clay, if you soaked it in water, it would just turn it back into plastic clay. But this is now permanent. This is a permanent shape. We can't change it anymore. So the reason bisqueware is porous is because it still needs to be able to absorb the glaze when you paint it onto it. So your first coat of glaze you'll put on, and a good portion of that glaze actually gets absorbed into the very top few layers of your bisqueware. You can't see that happening, but that's what's happening. So after your first coat of glaze dries, you have got to put a second one, because if you don't, your glaze will look really thin in some spots. It could look splotchy. It won't be very pretty when it fires. So you always have to do 2 coats of glaze on top of your bisqueware. And that's also going to ensure that this piece is waterproof. So let's say you were not doing a sculpture. Let's say you were doing something like a vase and you wanted it to be able to hold liquid. You want it to be able to hold water. Glaze makes it waterproof once it's fired. Okay, so this is bisqueware, and it has been fired 1 time.